Hello everyone. Today I'm just gonna tell a really funny story. This happens to be probably the most humiliating thing of my entire life that I'm extremely ashamed of. But hey, it's Friday, it's a day for extra mortification, and it is really funny, so yeah, I'm gonna share it. So at this point I was very, very young in my faith, just starting out, little blossoming youth, probably around, 14 or 15 or so. And it's kind of at that point where you're actually an ant, but you think you're a lion. So I was growing in my prayer life, I was contemplating the crucifixion a lot, and it got into my head that I just really, really wanted to help Jesus in the crucifixion. Like, I felt so bad, I wanted to do something, I wanted to help him. And what better way to help than to bear his wounds? It was a good intention. It did come from my heart. I was a weak little heart, and I thought I could bear that, but it came from the heart. The problem with my mind is that, well, it's very, very creative in its little fantasies. So you feed it the tiniest little thing, and it'll blow into huge proportions and make all sorts of scenarios and all these sorts of embellishments and a whole story about what it's going to be like. But for this one in particular, even though it started as a good thing, a good desire to aid Jesus on the cross, it didn't stay like that for very long. So instead I was like, well, I suppose I can't have a family if I'm gonna have holes in my hands and feet, so, well, I don't really want to be a nun either, so maybe I'll just be single in the world. And somehow I ended up living in Ireland, right? All secluded, kind of hermit-like. And of course I didn't want anybody to know that I had these wounds, because, then I would just be so famous. But of course they would find out, wouldn't they? And then they would all revere me and think I was so super holy, and then of course I would be like, oh no, it's not me. And for some reason, I don't play the guitar, but for some reason there was like a cool photo shoot in there with like the wounds and the guitar, and I don't know. I think I thought that it would hurt initially, and then it would go away and just be like, a sign of holiness or something. So at this point, like, I really wanted the Stigmata. Not for the reasons that I had originally wanted it, but for all these weird fantastical reasons. I even went so far to be like, oh, well, it's a gift, it's a reward, it's so great, I better earn this Stigmata. So I had a little sheet for sacrifices, and I would offer sacrifices like, once I get all of this up, then I will have earned the privilege of bearing the Stigmata. And then one Easter, I was at my uncle's house, running away from the crowd of people, and I found a book on Padre Pio. I tell you guys, smack in the face, flat on my face, at the bottom of this mountain of holiness that I was trying to climb, just seeing what he had to go through. Not what he had to go through, what he did go through, and what his mindset was, and exactly what the Stigmata even meant. That was the most humbling experience of my entire life. And I was so ashamed of myself for what I had, made the Stigmata into, and I just saw myself for what I was, which was a little ant. So yeah, Padre Pio, hey, he's right there! Padre Pio is so my man now. He's just so great, and kind of saved my spiritual life. At some time later, I was thinking back on this time and thinking, oh man, wow, I was so stupid. Sure glad I'm not like that anymore. And I looked down at my hand, and I saw a freckle. Right there. Right in the middle of the hand. And I remembered that when I was little, my family would call that my Stigmata. And I was like, oh, right, that's really funny. That's cool. And then I turn over my hand. I swear that freckle was not there before. Freckle in the back of the hand, all the way through to the front of the hand. It's like a freckle Stigmata. I just laughed so hard because it was just God being like, yeah, remember that time? Stay humble. And so honestly, whenever I see it, it just reminds me to keep myself humble and reminds me of my smallness, and it's just beautiful. It's fantastic. So, hope you enjoyed this really, really embarrassing story of mine. Have a good Friday. Bye!